the show because I don't
Sure.
want to miss any of
Let's
the
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Vinney Chopra, man, I'm so excited to have you, Mr. Smiles. Man, I got your book. I read it. It was an easy read. It was phenomenal. I love having you on here. I'm so excited. You have a huge portfolio. I don't want to take all of your thunder. Why don't we start actually, let's later on go into your story, but let's go right into some things like, for example, your podcast. So you have a podcast that involves either personal development or positive thinking or mindset. Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Ruben, I'm so privileged to be here on your show. I
Aw.
appreciate that very much. And, I just didn't want to do podcast actually, but for about 2 years, a lot of my team members were saying, Vinny, you have so much positivity
Yes.
and so much excitement and enthusiasm. And, it will be good show if you put it together. So that's where it's called Mr. Smiley. I smile a lot. Mr. Smiley's Motivation Talk Show is the name of the podcast, and we have done almost 16 episodes, and more are coming, which is really talking about our mind, our thinking big, our, feeding our, cells on a daily basis so that we can progress bigger and better things in life, a whole life, not just the business. So that's the one podcast. The other one is sequel to my book because people pay thousands of dollars in my academy to mastermind with me every week, and I said, why don't I just answer questions and give out the best out to the world for free? So that's the one.
Oh, yeah, I think it's important to have an abundance mentality. I have questions for you. I kind of want to get right into this one.
Please,
Um,
please.
so we don't have a script on this show. We just talk about whatever's
I
on my
love it.
mind. But I'm interested in one particular facet because you were mentioned that you had been on our website and we're scaling, right? So we
Yes.
mostly invested in Arizona. But in your experience, Vinney, when you're trying to grow from, let's say, 250 units to 10,000,
Mhm.
what kind of processes do you need to have in place? Let me ask you this specific question. Do you have to have a specific model in place, or can you just say, hey, I want to um, purchase multifamily and renovate it and make it sustainable and then just go from there? Or do you have to have like, hey, I'm going to target 200 units and above in specific markets based off specific ways? What do you recommend for that?
I would say definitely having a focused attack. I'm so glad you mentioned it. I keep this little mic, the magnifying glass on my desk, and that really teaches me and reminds me that I need to focus. I need to always focus because when we focus things in a particular direction, we progress much faster. So I believe in going into a niche market. That's the word. If you find out that you are able to scale up, and I went to your website, amazing personalities for everybody. I think the key thing would be to raise a lot of money, because once you raise a lot of money you can scale up faster. And that's what happened with me. We started with only 14 units, by the way, 14 units. It
Okay.
took me for only 180,000 many years back, and then we got into 2.4 million, then 2.9 million, then 30 no 11 million, 12 million assets, then 25 million assets, then we just closed on 52 million asset in
Woo!
Florida, and we are closing next week on 35 million, right on the back to back almost. And so I think answering your question, the right thing would be to pin down. If you're really believing in that group types, it's C plus or B minus. I think with the corrections coming up and so forth like that, I think we want to be conservative and we want to really go for C plus asset as much as we can, and also LTV to be lower. That's the word, because you don't want extend it like 90% loan or 85 or 80% loan. You want to go for 70% LTV. So this way, if the downturn comes, we can hedge it.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people are on the sidelines because they see people over leveraging their multifamily properties, and they're waiting for this correction to happen so that these guys get in trouble and
Yeah,
they can purchase these distressed assets. They're on the sidelines right now. But
yeah,
we don't necessarily, I don't believe us or a lot of other people that feel experienced have time to wait. So we're out there underwriting a lot of deals and making offers, and we're raising capital for 2 deals, one in Tucson and an upcoming one in Houston, our first out-of-state property. So we're really excited about that. But what's your vision on these people? Do you think that there's going to be enough over leveraged properties so that when a correction hits, there'll be opportunities for companies like yourself or mine to
you
take it?
know, Ruben, you're right. I mean, the thing is definitely the ones who will have good cash position or who will have investors already vetted and pre-existing if you're doing the 506B or of course the fund or blind pool fund money available in 506C, they'll be the winners because corrections will happen. And people who have overextended. Now, I didn't purchase anything in 2018, by the way. I underwrote so much, so much, so much. I even had money raised, but I just, in my good conscience, I could not put that money into these overpriced assets. You know what I mean? So that's what my investors loved me. They said, Winnie, we appreciate you not taking money and put it away where you will be in trouble or we'll be in trouble, like that. So you're right. I think the key thing is we need to look for good, solid assets which will cash flow even in the downturn. That's the word. Like the one we purchased, 52 million, 296 units were already renovated, but there was a big gap. They had not brought the rents to the market. So
Mhm.
there's a big value play of almost close to 6 to 7 million increase in value of that asset, in just first year. So that will even make our LTV go lower, right? The one we are purchasing now, 35 million one, again, the seller put a lot of money, lots of money into the residence center and other things and all that, did 60 unit renovation, but 140 are not done yet. And also the bump in rent is from 200 to 400 a month, a month. So that's very exciting. So I would really say to the people listening to the audience, be careful. Don't purchase a property just because you want to place the money, but vet it out. I mean, it took us a long time to find these 2 deals. Look at that. In the whole year.
Yeah, actually, Bakerson went about 16 months without being able to find a property, and it was almost, part of 2019 and most of 2018.
Yes.
So I definitely can relate with having challenges to find
Yes.
property, and specifically to us because we've been in Arizona and we don't feel comfortable yet unless we have the right team members in place to go out of market.
Yeah.
So tell me about that process for you because you don't live where you invest. Tell us about your team. Tell us how you do that in different markets.
Totally, totally. And what happened was that, we did hire an outside company 12 years back, and they did good job. I don't want to take away anything, but we were at the properties more than they were. We were dealing with things and all that, and so forth. So my partner and I decided, let's just form our own company. So we paid the top property management consultant to fly in, and she was able to build our company in 3 months. In 3 months,
Wow.
she was able to come down to Texas and design it, manuals, all that, HR, the whole division, right? So now we have our own accounting department, 4 full-time people in there, HR person, director, regional managers, asset managers. We at the peak, I had 100 full-time team members, 100 in my 4 companies, 2 acquisition companies and 2 management companies. So we are vertically integrated. So I think the big thing is the sooner you think you can afford to scale up, because you will save so much money in contracts, in giving the like when the occupancy goes down or like that, you can take marketing decisions much faster when you are self managing. So those things have really helped a lot. I've always lived right here outside San Francisco, and maybe traveled 5 times a year. That's all. But we do everything on Zoom, and every computer in our all the offices have webcams, and it's a mandatory that we are meeting every week religiously with the full agenda and everything, and we are able to conduct business as if we were there meeting back, side by side. Accounting department comes in, HR comes in, those people come in, maintenance people, me over here, all. So we really can manage digitally quite a lot. And then we do camaraderie and team meetings and bonuses, all the 401ks and medical benefits and all to our team members.
That's fantastic. So let's actually talk about this book that you wrote, the Apartment Syndication Made Easy book with.
Oh my gosh, double roll there. It just so happened. I said, you know what can I give back to the community where I've learned a lot, right, in the last 14 years. And I said, let me put it together, if I may. It took me 2 years to write it, by the way, but I hope people enjoy it. It's getting really good comments, 110 reviews in just few months so far. Only 1% didn't like it. That's okay. The rest are good. But the key thing is, I just wanted the myth to go away. A lot of people frown upon the word syndication. They think, oh my gosh, I'll be in jail, or I have to really do all these things, it cannot be done and things like that. But if we really follow the rules correctly in the syndication world, that's the best world out there. OPM, other people's money, there is 26 or 28 trillion with a T money in the retirement funds, and only 4% of that is into real estate, into syndications like you and I, smaller ones. So my passion is to just spread the word, to make sure that it's a good watchdog. I call it SEC as a good watchdog, which is looking forward, taking care of the interest of the investors. And if you have a transparency in your business, you are showing and doing everything legally, that's the best world out there, because it's a win-win-win situation then, in winning for the investors, winning for our the residents who will live in our communities, winning for our team members in front of us who are Monil and other communities, like that. And then also our vendors. We bring so many lives, so many different households get benefited by all that. So
Yeah, absolutely. So that you said a word that I had to stop, and you mentioned the word resident. You don't call them tenants. You're very much like
never,
that. So I
never,
love that you
ever.
have that focus.
Surely, these are residents. They have hard-earned money. They're living in great communities, have bringing their kids to great schools. So they're not tenants. Tenants is so far apart, so primitive way to say that. Residents are the ones, they are team members of our community right there and enjoying the living style.
So yeah, I really loved that book. It was an incredibly well, I'm not sure if it was, I was familiar with a lot of the
Yes.
terminology, so it was pretty easy for me to understand and see value in it. I'm not sure if somebody new to real estate would understand it quite as well, but I really love that book. And I really love your focus on educating people on how to and giving back. But you do that through a different way as well. You actually mentor people. I'd like to hear directly from you about how you mentor people and the company that you use for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, multifamilyacademy.com is my company. Also, Multifamily Syndication Academy.com is my company also. About 4 or 5 years back, a lot of people were reaching me after my podcast interviews, I've been interviewed over 100 times now, 100 shows, and it's been really exciting. But then a lot of people were asking me the same questions. I have the same answers. So then my team member said, Vinney, you need to start recording and filming and all that. So that's what really opened up the horizon for for the academy. And I feel like, I'm not here to make money in education. That's my real thing. I want to offer the knowledge at a very, very minimum price, which is a little bit cost, and the good part is I coach myself at this time still every week for 2 hours masterminding, and then we record it and in Zoom, and then pass it out to hundreds of other students in the academy, things like that. But the big thing is to really educate my audiences how to do it correctly. That's my passion. How to do from A to Z in just finding the target markets and talking to brokers and all the different scripts and pitches. The other thing I do is give everything I've developed over 12 years in my academy, all templates, all educational brochures, everything. And not only that, the Excel worksheets and my recordings with the investors and what do I do with the PowerPoint. So no holds bar, right from starting until the disposition. I have done 27 syndications so far. 28th will be next week. So, which is with my partners now. I just partnered with Enzo Multifamily, great
Okay.
people.
Tell me
Yes.
more about that.
Yeah, we have been, see, the meeting of mind has to be there. When you do a partnership, the goals have to be aligned, and everything what we believe in has to be in the similar fashion, and the working hard and working together, and, really not compromise. I don't like the word compromise. It's that we are working towards the same goals for the investors, for the residents, for what we are trying to do for the capex, for our underwriting, conservativeness and everything. Those things have to be aligned with your partners. I believe in that. And then the trust factor is so important. So that's what I've been doing, everything on my own, with my partner in the 14 syndications we did with my old company. Then we did 12 syndications in my new company, which is only 4.5 years old, by the way, And now by doing together, we could go to even 76 million loans and $80 million loans because of the net worth and all those things involved. So we can scale up better now.
And then, so your idea is to stay in multifamily and continue to.
That is so true. I would say I was given some chances to get into some other avenues. I just felt like student housing was not my cup of tea. I
Mhm.
wanted to really be into the conventional. I didn't really get into too much of the affordable housing market also, because I really believe you want to focus in and be good at one particular thing, right? So now with senior living, I'm really getting a little bit more diversified. I'm looking into grounds up senior living. I'm looking into certain other avenues, and also hospitality is kind of getting piquing my interest also in the hotels a little bit. So
Mhm.
I'll be straightforward in my multifamily plus some other stuff.
Yeah, so the construction would be, I haven't met or had anybody on the show. I
Yes.
think maybe Neil Bawa was on here, and he's
Hmm.
the only one that's done construction syndications that I've been able to talk to. But that would
Sure.
be very interesting to learn that business. I think it's fascinating. He
It is.
mentioned that it's
It is.
completely different than multifamily syndication, that, like B and C reposition type deals, but fascinating subject. So, so, would you mind telling me about maybe a couple of success stories of the people that you've mentored? I'd love to hear some of the people that have purchased or changed their lives as a result of working with you.
For sure, for sure. I'd love to. There are quite a few, but I really feel like maybe Dylan Marma has done very, very well. Dylan came into my academy but a couple of years back. He got very close to me, and he was a very sharp young man, and
Yeah.
he is now also. And then, we crushed a lot of things together, and now he's so successful. I think his portfolio with Jake and Gino, he's with Jake and Gino now, and he mentioned it to me. I said, sure, please, I want you to fly. Dylan, I want you to be the eagle, and they got about 50 million now. in assets in just such a short period of time. Not because of all I taught, but it's the, the work ethics and understanding the material and putting into action. He moved from San Diego to Atlanta, and 425 in meetup group. I did the property walks, and 50 people showing up there, at the property walks from his group, and all those things. That's the exciting part is the people who are able to. I know I just actually also had really, really great successes with the syndication who just joined, but they were not able to take that step. I mean, Enzo Multifamily, I might say that too. Someone joined my academy. He was raising money, a lot of money, but they had not done syndication. He says, I said, someone, you're so intelligent. Oh my gosh, and then something happened or whatever. And they started getting into the syndication world. And now they purchase Jacksonville, and then with me now, and so on. I'm thinking about another person really comes to my mind. It warms my heart. Is Solomon. Solomon said, Vinney, 1 year back, I was listening to you and you changed my life. I said, wow, how did I do that? He says, well, I was going to buy for 595,000, I think, like a fourplex. And he heard me, and he says he took the next exit and went back home to his office and said, I'm not going to buy. You said, go big, don't go small, go big. So, and now he's my partner and he's raising money. I spent some time to talk to his audience in Rancho Cucamonga, right here in California. He got like almost $6 million committed in my talking only 2.5 hours to his audience.
Wow.
It was amazing, So all this power of suggestions and power of, putting things into action are bringing great results. Yeah.
So tell me about the raising money aspect of the business, especially for people who maybe have run out of friends and family capital and are now looking to get their information in front of new people.
Fabulous. I'm so glad you're saying that. The big thing is, Ruben, that we need to be, first of all, set our mind correctly, saying that there is abundance. There is abundance, not scarcity. We don't go too far with the method of thinking there is just nobody around us. If we look at it, everybody around us has money. Everybody around us has money. That's the attitude. And then you want to ask the people who you already know to let them introduce you to more people. And, go to wealth groups. That's the big one. Meetups are okay, but in the meetups, you have similar kind of people who are looking for money or they are just starting out, but you go to the more charitable organizations, wealth groups, join the clubs. I remember when I started 12 years back, it was by reaching out to people and gathering them and giving them PowerPoint presentation and then meeting individually, right? Social presence is really huge now. By having some squeeze pages on your website, one has to have a really killer website along with giving some free, as we talk about, write out a little paper or ebook. It's so easy to write, and then give it so that you can inherently, get some traction going is the word, traction. And then the biggest thing I find is for getting to the people, I talk in the book about 6 circles of influence. Many times we have so many people we know in our Rolodeck. I have like around 15,000 contacts in my iPhone, 15,000. And I can trace back like 40 years back when I came into this country. I still have them with me right here. So I think reaching out and telling people about what you're doing and be passionate, you will grow your investor base. And then don't give up on some people who didn't invest with you. See, that's all the problem. Sometimes we say we want to close them now.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
I
It's
agree.
hard-earned money. You got to meet with them. You want to, get into their mind, and they need to trust us. That's when the money will come. Now I can raise 7 to 10 million in about a day or two because my investors have believed in me and they have told more people and more people and more people.
Yeah, we're creating an educational content that we're going to be producing. And then,
Yes,
I don't, on this show, I like to produce the content. I don't ask for anything in return. I
yes,
hardly even ask people to like give me a rating. I know that the content is amazing and it's my opportunity to share and be abundant and to ask questions specifically to people that they may not have the opportunity to ask the questions to. So they get the answers, via me,
yes.
asking questions about raising capital and how multifamily syndication works. Let me know about what do you see for your model going forward. I want to hear about what it is. What kind of asset are you specifically looking for?
I'm so glad you're saying that. Actually, I'm totally sold on what's happening in USA. It's becoming a renter's nation more so than before, with the millennials, 71 million people who are really liking portability, which I have been saying, which is everybody knows, and they are liking to live in B class assets more so, B minus B with great amenities. That's the word. They want the jacuzzis, they want the nice swing pools. They want some nice barbecue areas and kitchens. They want nice cyber cafes, right? They
Yes.
want the exercise rooms, not to go into a fitness club outside, but right there. And they're willing to pay for the smart home, like the Nests and the smart, USB plugs in the kitchen and in their bedrooms. Like at night, at bedroom, I put my phone, I connect it before I go to bed so that it's ready next morning. So they loving all these great and valet trash and dog parks and dog washes and kayak, like we are putting a kayak deck in one of our communities on the lake which we own in Orlando. So by giving more to the millennials and also then the baby boomers, see, 72 million baby boomers are also downsizing, and they are loving to live in great senior communities, as I just mentioned. So the big thing is those two forces plus the immigration, also immigrants. They are all, the pent up demand is there, huge demand for the middle size, not A's. We don't really go into A's that much because of, you can't value add that much. And then in the C's, I bought quite a few C's in my life, and I've just kind of graduated now because I can raise more money. That's why I'm in that scheme now. My goals are to really get into billion, let's say, for example, with a B, in that B class, in the B class. And then educate, educate, educate. That's what I'm doing more, webcasts. And I was in the Bay Area speaking 4 days about a week back every night to really get the Silicon Valley investors and everybody to really look into the self-directed IRAs and retirement plans. A lot of people don't know that,
Yeah.
that they can do it. And that's the best way they could earn really great returns, preferred returns and equity gains, almost like owning the piece of the apartment without the hassles.
Yeah, a lot of times they can do it tax free. I had Damian Lupo
Absolutely.
on here and he talked a little bit about the solo 401k and some of the advantages. I
Yes.
definitely recommend for people that are going in that direction, either study from him or Brian Ellis, whose show I'm actually releasing today. He's a master at self-directed investments and using them for alternative investments.
Great.
Anyways, so let's get back to what I really wanted to hear from you though was the parameters for the properties that you're seeking right now. Like, what
Okay.
are they? Are you seeking 200 units and above, a specific value, a monetary value that they cost? What is it that you're looking for?
Exciting. You're so right. 200 plus is the right, yeah, mixture. 200 to 450, by the way, because we can raise the kind of money, and mostly B class right now, maybe B minus, but it should be in B plus area. So we are looking for great communities. That's what, we are going after. And also with some value play. It doesn't come that easy, but you can, you got to underwrite a lot. That's what I would like to tell everybody, the whole audience. Don't give up. Don't ever give up, because like Atlanta, I went there, right? I had 92 deals in just 5 months, we underwrote 46. I did best and final in 4, lost every single one. I came as number two, number two, number two, never got that. But you never give up. And by the heel of all that 92 deals, I got the one, just one, 267, purchased it. When I went to buy that one, the broker gave me another one. Oh my gosh, which I'm planning to sell hopefully next year. 12 million I paid. I'm getting offers for $18 million in just 2 years. In just 2 years. So those are the kind of deals they don't come that often, but you got to keep on trying. You got to keep on, putting your efforts into and then also don't stay with one broker in one niche market, because people have different trees and different branches. So you got to be kind of dealing with different brokers from all the top 3 to 5 warehouses there, right? So that's a huge part. The other part is, again, what's the cap rate? I don't believe in going after cap rate. I believe in cash on cash, and most of our properties are 97% occupancy. We buy those because they are the lower rent as we do the market comparison, because once they are 97, 98, 99%, they are the underdogs. They are at the bottom of the pile. And that's when you want to come in, renovate quickly, and then bump up and give the best to the residents, with the new technologies and different smart homes and all, and then also increase the NOI. Yeah. So cash on cash of about 5.5 to 7% that's where in the B class, by the way, that's where it is now. I mean, I used to buy at 12% cash on cash. Those days are gone. Those days are really gone. So this way we are also giving 70-30 split with the investors with a pref rate, so that we are taking hours on the back end, things like that. But answer your question, yeah, stay in the market. And then again, I hope nobody is wasting time in the wrong market. Why do I say that? Market and the number of units. Because you got to first qualify for the loan before you even put an LOI. That's one nugget, if I may say. I have closed on all 27 deals from LOI stage to the finishing stage. The reason I was able to do that was, as soon as I knew I want this property, I gave it to my loan broker, and they underwrote it. They blessed the loan before even the LOI got put into and then I don't mind putting $250,000, $500,000, hard money on day one. That's the other reason why we are able to win the deals, because we go money hard first day.
Wow, that's impressive. So you mentioned that you like Arizona. Are you looking at some deals right now in this market?
We are, and I would love to chat with you, and, maybe offline, and we could see totally, I mean, we have so much money right here in the Bay Area, which is ready to be deployed. So we should chat. Yeah, talk about it.
We will. I'll probably jump on you're about to do a podcast, I believe, right after this.
Yeah.
Watch that and listen, and then maybe we can touch base afterwards. I think I have your cell phone number in here.
Oh, please. Yes. I will give you. I mean, I'm very easy guy. I mean, it's I'll give it to the audience even. My team sometimes picks up. I pick up 925-766-3518. Pretty easy number.
Now, hey, let me ask you this. So have you taken somebody who's already syndicating multifamily and helped them grow their business? Have you done that before? Tell me about.
I'm so glad you said that. I would love to say Thomas and Brent, I think. Yeah, from Woodland Hills. They are still managing over 3,000 units. 3,000 units. And they said, Vinney, we looked all over the place, and you are the right coach and mentor. And they joined my academy just 2 months back. And they just closed on one deal already, syndication deal with Kim Taylor, my attorney. So I was able to put them in touch and all. And then we are doing personal coaching. Now that's personal coaching my students, and they flew just the next week all the way, spent 3 hours with me right here in my office and my home. in Blackhawk, and so it's been a tremendous feeling. And then now they're into second one already, second syndication.
Hmm.
And then in 2020, they'll be going into more syndications.
And
So
they were already syndicating before they came on
no,
board with you?
no, they did not syndicate. They were investing by themselves into, and they were managing over 3,000 units. Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty impressive.
I know. Then another Thomas and oh my gosh, they're gonna kill me. Right here, Thomas from Portland or Seattle, I think, and his partner right here in San Francisco. They just joined my academy and they are crushing it also. I mean, I love when people who are seeking me because I've walked the talk. I guess they say, Vinney, you've gone where we want to go. So that's exciting to have, those candidates come into my academy and mastermind with me and bring that excitement, Yeah.
So let's go way back to, you came to the United States. A lot of people have heard your story, right? You came here with $7. You tell it right in the book, right?
Yeah.
And now you have close to $300 million of assets under management. But talk to us a little bit about that first deal that you did. So you started with the 14 unit. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, 14 units, and it took me 11 months. Listen to that one. Baby gets born in 9 months, but my first property came in 11 months. You're right. Ruben, the thing was, it was our desire because we were working, my partner and I were working full time, right? Every night, every second night, we'll get together for an hour and a half, 2 hours. We had coach with us also. We paid a lot of money, ton of money to learn. I'm so happy I did spend that kind of money because where I am today, I wouldn't be there because the coach helped me to teach me the right tricks, right? And then also to take that step. See, it's very hard to say, should I pull the plug, get into it, the deal or not? And that is what it is all about, deal analysis, figuring it out and getting coached in the right way. So it took me some time, 180,000. It took us to buy that 11 units, by the way, 14 units. And then we closed on another deal that Friday, same week, for
Wow.
109 units and 101 storage units in the same lot, 2.33 acre lot, actually, in Odessa, Texas, 2.4 million. And we were talking to the seller for so many months. Nobody will give us loan. We were starting out. They were asking us, would you move to Texas? We said, no, we have job over here. All that stuff, right? Everything was no, 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 no. But if you have that desire that you want to make it happen, it will happen for you. You got to be staying in the game. That's what happened, in our case, and how I raised money from zero investor to 1.150 for that first deal, 109 units, and
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that story. How did you raise the money for the first couple of deals?
exactly. I would say it started from scratch, My wife and I were really not sure if I'll be success, to be truthful. I'm telling everybody right now, we never wanted any money from friends, any money from our relatives or family. No, no money at all. So actually somebody gave me a referral to see somebody about 45 minutes away from where we live. And I just made an appointment. He was kind enough to give me an appointment. And I sat in his living room. And then, we sat and he asked me questions. I'm engineer, right? So I said, what I'm going to talk about. I had to prepare my presentation. I made 5 slides. Why multifamily? Very crude slides, from the single family, why multifamily, all that, what I could understand 14 years back. So I go there and sat down and he asked me questions. Would you be moving? Do you have the contract? Do you have experience? I said, no, 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 no. I think my enthusiasm was so huge.
That is a big
Really, I'll
selling.
write you a check for $50,000, literally after 25 minutes or so, sitting in his living room. But then towards the end of the closing, he increased that to 100, then to 125,000, 125. And I ended up giving Ruben 43.3% returns per year on that asset, by the way.
Woo.
Oh my God. So 6 years in a row, we sold it after 6 years for 5 million, but the cash flow was so strong. And then my investors got their 100 back plus 200, some 50,000 more, right? So that really, then he invited me more. He says, Vinny, meet me at Starbucks. Some of my other friends want to meet you now because you're doing so good with the cash flow return. This is way back now, right? So I go there, 7 people there, right? Just coffee, drinking, and all. And they asked me some questions. They became my investors also. Oh my gosh, they opened their wallet with 100. Now they have close to millions of dollars in my deals. They kept on coming. So the thing is, you got to get started. Then we also did presentations in the hotels and restaurants in the Bay Area. That's the only thing we knew, right? And I was so happy. My mentor even asked to pay me money to fly to Chicago. And I gave my PowerPoint presentation in front of 300 investors for him. I mean, he said, Vinny, you're raising millions. How can you do that? What kind of PowerPoint? So I got refined and refined and refined. But the biggest thing is you got to have the attitude that these are not just investors, they are equity investor partners. Aha. Those 3 words are so important. And I teach that in the academy. You never say, I'm looking for investors to invest in my deals. That's wrong, totally wrong. You say, I'm always looking for equity investor partners because they are limited partners, remember, in the LLC. And they're investors and they're equity investors. They are not debt investors. So by saying that, communicating and sitting down into and listening to where they have come from, what's their risk profile, where they invest and all those. See, I only have 152 investors. That's all. 152. That's it.
Wow.
But they just keep on coming in every deal. And now I'm selling. So I'm giving millions back. They say, Vinny, when is your next deal coming? They're knocking on the door. So it's so easy in that way. It will happen for everybody. I'm telling you, if you run the operation transparent, that's the word, Ruben, right? Because I said to my investors, and I meet them every quarter on the quarter, by the way, every quarter, recorded Zoom calls, everything. I invite them, they come, live recording, no pretense, whatever questions are on their mind, they ask, I answer. And they can ask for anything from our company, not only the profit and loss or the rent roll, everybody gives them. They can ask for invoices, bank statements, bids. I mean, any kind of things they can think of. No holds bar, no holds bar. They could fly to the properties, they can shop the properties, they can do anything, and without telling me, because I want them to sleep at night and feel good that Vinny's totally taking care of their money, and that's what it's all about. It's the transparency which grows with the word of mouth to others. I never had a website. I just got website, I think 3 years back or so, 3-4 years back. But early on in the 2007, 8, 9, we didn't have a website at all. It was all word of mouth.
That's amazing. Okay, well, I know that you got to jump off here and get on another Zoom call and then do your presentation, or I should say your podcast. But
Yeah.
before we finish off, thank you for coming on, by the way. But why don't you give everybody, it's just so great. I can't wait to talk to you. I'm going to reach out to you pretty soon here.
Please, please.
Yeah, later today, I promise. But
Totally.
how do people get a hold of you? What's the best way? What are some of the places where they can find you that you like the most?
Oh, sure, sure. Ruben, my best presence is actually my website, which is vinneychopra.com. V as in Victor, INNEY. There is a E in there, vinneychopra.com. Or even if they say, I think Vinney, VINNIE, Chopra, just Google me. That way, they'll come to my website. And then also they can text the word like syndication word to 474747. they can reach me and my business advisors, and or learn if they want to learn in my academy. I have a very huge academy I personally coach. That's LEARN learn 2474747, or email John Jon at vinneychopra.com, my business advisor, senior business advisor. And if they like the book, I also have audio version now also available, and the Kindle and Spanish version is going to be coming pretty soon. And then my next book is already coming out too, by the way, in a month. Positivity Brings Profitability. That's because I've been positive all my life. My wife said, Vinney, this is a great book. It's got limited audience. I've been married 39 years, by the way, and I'm 67. I just want to let you know and declare, I have such good passion for the next 30 years. I mean, it's all in the mind. People after 60 feel that, hey, I'm old, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're never old. You got to tell yourself you're younger every day, every birthday. I've been saying that for the last 50, 60 years.
I actually say that too. I say that all the time. I feel like I'm getting younger.
Exactly. It's all mindset. It's the discipline. It's the excitement. It's the stimulation. It's the purpose, So you got to, just be passionate about. I love this book right here, The Miracle Equation. I don't get paid any money, but Hal Elrod right there, Miracle Morning. So great, because you got to be always thinking how you can make a big impact, in the lives of people all around you.
I think I saw you post about that book. Is this the book that has you wake up at 5 a.m?
Yeah. Oh, that's a new one. 5 a.m. by Sharma. Bobby Sharma. Is that right? Actually, I was just right there. Actually, just yesterday, I met somebody at the Thanksgiving. Oh, there it is. Shaker, actually. And, Robin Sharma. ROBIN, Robin Sharma, with the 5 a.m. book. It's getting accolades all over, and I just got introduced to it. I just downloaded it on my Audible. I'm going to be listening to that. See, the thing is, even at this age, I'm so passionate about, getting the right books around me. You got to have them. This is the book that really got me where I am today. The Magic of Thinking Big, by W.J. Schwartz, and then of course the Daily Kindness. I mean, the books, you got to always stimulate your mind, with everything happening. I mean, there's just so many things out here. I mean, I've got a book all over around here. But the key thing is, life is fun. Life is fun.
Man, sure.
Happiness is right here. Excitement is right here. Not tomorrow, not yesterday.
Mr. Smiles, it's been a pleasure to have you, man. I'm on your podcast right now so I can continue watching you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruben. Please reach back to me and let's crush it. It's so exciting to be on your show. You're an amazing person, and get to know you more, and, and God bless you and everything you're doing.
God bless you too, man. Thanks again. We'll talk soon. I promise. Enjoy the rest of your happy holidays to you and
same here. Hey, we are working today, Friday,
All right, take care.
All right. Yeah, bye-bye. Don't ever give up.
Happy holidays.